So this is going to be our sticks and stones slab dish mini project. What you need to do first is cut out an organic shape or a template of some sort. I'm doing a monstera leaf. I have 2 different ones and sizes here. All right, and we are going to begin. So I've already pre-flattened my clay. Remember, your first step when ever starting any project is to make sure you wedge. And I flattened my clay and I have put it in between 2 thickness strips. I want to make sure my rolling pin's going to roll on the thickness strip, so this is perfect. And I'm going to start in the center of my clay and push gently forward and back. Every so often I'm going to flip it to make sure it's stretching at a consistent rate. All right, I'm going to rotate this. And I want to make sure that it's going to push evenly. You're not going to use a lot of clay for this. This is going to be about less than half a pound of clay. And when you're rolling out, your goal is to make sure your template fits right in the middle. So that is going to work great for us. I'm going to remove my thickness strips and my rolling pin, and I am going to compress both sides of my slab. You can use a rib for this, or you can use your fingers, and you're just gliding the rib over the top of the clay. All right, so I'm going to flip this now. I'm going to do the other side. You do need to do both sides. Compressing the clay makes it stronger. You're also getting rid of all that canvas texture. Beautiful. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to put that template right over here onto my slab, and I'm going to cut it out with a needle tool. So I'm going to just use this as kind of like a stencil, but it's a template, and I'm going to cut out my shape. It's okay if it's not perfect. That's why it's great to do these dishes as an organic shape. All right, also be mindful how tight some of the shapes are. You have a lot of wiggles. All right, so I'm gonna remove my template now. I'm gonna take away this clay. We're gonna use some of this clay later on. All right, and I'm gonna just remove some of those extra pieces. All right, so I got my leaf all cut out. I'm gonna smooth those edges with a sponge. You can also use a wet paintbrush to get into those little nooks and crannies. All right, so now we're gonna drape this over a mold. Our mold is going to be a rock. And I'm going to gently place this over my rock and tap it so it takes the form of the rock. So it's going to be like a little bowl dish, or a little jewelry dish. Now while it's upside down, I'm going to smooth out the back side with a sponge. If you want to cut a little bit more, you can. We can also clean it up more later. So while it's setting on that rock, we're trying to let the clay dry to get leather hard. I'm going to make 3 little feet on the bottom. Now I'm going to make sure that the feet are going to sit. So So my feet are gonna probably go right here because I wanna make sure it's gonna be sturdy on the table. So I'm gonna just do 3 simple little balls. I wanna make sure that they are all gonna be roughly the same size. Too much clay. Roll it. That's a really big ball, so we probably won't do that. Those are good size. I think I'm gonna do it like this. All right. And then you're gonna score and slip them. So I'm gonna score. I'm gonna score where I wanna place them. Okay. I'll form this a little bit more into a ball. So for this one, you do need to have feet. Your feet can be any shape, but you have to have at least 3 so it's sturdy. All right, so then those are gonna go on pretty nicely, but I gotta make sure I score, slip, and weld them on. I'm gonna use a tad bit of water. I'm gonna give that a nice little shimmy shimmy to attach on. Gonna give this one a nice little shimmy shimmy to attach on. You don't want your little feet popping off. Same thing with this one. All right, so took me less than 10 minutes to make this. Okay, this isn't a very long project. It's going to be a day project. We're gonna let it sit and get leather hard on the rock while you work on something else. But once you're done and once it's set and leather hard, we will be able to take it off the rock. We can do some carving, some add-ons on in the center, and then you'll have a nice little dish. And that's that. Of course, clean it up. Make sure you're taking good care of your craftsmanship, and that's it.